What is up, everyone? Welcome to a very special video. We've got Gameweek 33 Wildcard Draft, and I'm joined by a special guest, FPL Joe. His Twitter handle will be in the description as well, and as you can see above his face cam as well, you can see his Twitter handle. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, hi Ryan. Thanks for having me here. Doing good, doing good. What a few couple of matches that we had. I think yesterday, last night,
Yes.
probably early morning in your side.
Yep.
So it's really crazy. But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to playing the wild card on the game week 33, which
Yep.
is I think like what 2 days more.
Yes,
So
exactly.
we're gonna have a midweek match that I'm going to play a wild card in.
Mm.
So it's something different as compared to what I did previous seasons. Usually I prefer to play it over the international break, but this is a quick turnaround. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to talk through it.
All right. Just to give context to everyone, you don't have any other chips left, right? It's only this one.
Yes, I only have the wild card left, and yeah, and it's for the rest of the season.
Okay, cool. So for anyone who's watching this and has a wildcard and a bench boost as well, you might have to slightly tinker it, but I think the core players are still probably going to be the same.
Yeah, I mean I ran through a different route this season. I think most of the players will probably wildcard in game week 26. And I think play the bench boost on game week 29 and free hit on game week 32. So it's a bit different from what I'm doing this season. I played my free hit on game week 28 because I was playing the bench boost on game week 29. And then after that, I used my free transfers to build my team towards game week 32. And then I threw a wild card in game week 33 because I was thinking, I have quite a number of double game weeks to cover. So using the wild card will probably be enough to cover my bases. But yeah, it's really different this season, trying to go against the crowd. It's an unusual season for me as well. Playing, I think, more than 10 years on FPL. But yeah, so far I would say there are ups and downs, but I don't entirely regret my decision. But yeah, looking back in hindsight, probably game week 26 is still a more optimum play to do the wildcard, because I was really banking on Liverpool from game week 26 to actually be more consistent, especially after the 7-0 win against United.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan.
It's fine. It's fine.
I see you have an Old Trafford there. So yeah, I was really hoping on Liverpool to carry on the momentum after the 7-0 win, which unfortunately, they immediately lost to Bournemouth. Because I had triple Liverpool since game week 25, I think. So unfortunately, it was a risk I took, but unfortunately it didn't work out. If only they carry on at least some or half of the momentum, I'll probably be riding much higher at the moment, because I was really going against the crowd. I think the crowd, I think at game week 26, we probably didn't see much of even Liverpool players. So
true, but in that aspect, you also, I guess, the Game Week 26 wildcards, I was one of them, took out Liverpool assets when they went and hauled. So you did get that high. So I think the ones who probably made the best out of it were probably the Game Week 27 wildcarders, who actually took out Liverpool assets after they haul and then managed to get away with it. But
yeah, agreed.
So yeah, go ahead.
So my rankings since game week 26 really depended on Liverpool. Whenever Liverpool hauled, you can see me going up. Whenever Liverpool didn't do well, boom, drop. So it has been a roller coaster season for me.
So you're now in the top 100k, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just hit it yesterday after the Newcastle win. Um, uh, because of I have Alexander Isak,
Nice.
so he saved my game week. But yeah, I've been in and out top 100k this season. I think my highest was 33k, but then I just drop, and then go up again. Just like Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay, so we're hoping for a strong finish with this wild card, and that's what we're expecting. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
All right,
Let's
cool.
hope.
Okay, so this is your main draft that you currently got, and obviously, by the time the deadline comes, this might slightly change for people who are watching, but probably the core might still remain the same. So we've got a couple other drafts as well, only a few players that have been adjusted. But let's talk through this first one. What is your thought process behind this one?
Okay. This is okay. So my first instinct, because I sold Haaland on game week 29, the double game week 29, because he was injured and he only had one game, so I sold him. So my first I had to suffer without Haaland for game week 30 and game week 31 because because he blanks on game week 32. I needed 11 players in game week 32. I had to carry on without Haaland for the 2 game weeks. Initially when I sold him on game 29, I was just banking on him getting limited minutes on game week 30 and 31. But unfortunately, the rest is history. So my first instinct is to bring him back with a wild card. So that's what I did. I also sold Rashford on I think blank game when he got injured. I think it was 31. I think.
Yeah.
I think I sold
31.
Rashford on 31. So he was another person, another player that I wanted to bring him back as soon as possible. So the thought process was these 2 players were my main players to bring back. And the next thought process was to bring back my triple Brighton, because I sold them because I had to field 11 players on game week 32. So but initially before that, I had triple Brighton midfield. I had a triple of March, Mitoma, and McAllister, which was different from others, but it did well for me throughout those game weeks. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to revert to a double midfield and a single defense, because the midfield options are stacked. We have so many midfield options, and that's what I wanted to do, to bring back triple Brighton, but and with a different setup. So which is why if you look at the screen, I have Estupinan instead of a third Brighton attacker. Another one I wanted to do is to I had Darwin. Darwin from game week 25. After the haul against United, he was pretty disappointing to own, and with his place seemingly lost, dropped to a bench or second option, and in the same time, Diogo Jota, back to his best, or I would say, he's back. So Darwin is another player that I wanted to move on, which is why I brought in Jota instead. I looked at Gakpo, but unfortunately, he is a midfielder. If he's a striker in FPL, then he'll probably be a better option because he's cheaper, and he plays in the middle. If he plays, that is, his sub, his sub against
the last game, yes.
The last game against Forest was a big blow to owners and a big surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, to me including. I bought him on my one free transfer, and then Jota decided to score instead of him.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't, if he's brought off maybe after 60 minutes, I would consider Gakpo, but right now he is a midfielder, and I need midfielders who actually play game in game out with nailed players. So which is why I have these 5 players on the screen right now as my midfield. Then I looked at goalkeepers as well. So I really didn't want to have Addison in. But he just let's be fair. He's the most nailed City option in the whole team. Even more nailed than Haaland. Haaland whenever I think his minutes will definitely be managed, because I think I read somewhere that it is one of his contract options.
Yes.
With City, that his physical health, his well-being is being managed.
To avoid injuries.
Yeah, to avoid injuries, as compared to his previous seasons, because he this is something that we are seeing right now. Yes, he plays week in, week out, but whenever he's going through really physical games or hectic fixtures, we can see his minutes being managed, especially if he comes back from injury. He's not rushed back into the game. So yeah, we are seeing this right now, and City are going to have an even more hectic schedule over the next few game weeks.
The Real Madrid fixture will be there will be rotation, because the fixtures around are a bit easy as well for City, even though they still need to win every game.
Yeah. So which is one of the reasons why I'm not too keen on having triple City. If we look at another draft, I do have Grealish instead of Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes in midfield, but with Foden being back in training, and Mahrez hitting form, it's going to be another minefield. So which is why I have Addison instead. Because I'm looking at double game week 34 initially with this draft. I'm looking at double game week 34. So if what you're looking right now is I'll have 11 double players on game week 34, and I currently have 4 players on double game week 36, where Brighton and Newcastle are going to have the double game week. So the plan was to use 2 transfers to bring in Newcastle players, and on the screen you will see I already have 8 double game week players for game week 37. So I might, it depends on the situation. It depends on City's schedule and the players. I might bring in the third City player to have 9 double game week player. I'm not too keen on Chelsea. They not really convincing. I did have Kepa before this, but I think other than Kepa and possibly Chilwell, I don't see any other Chelsea players worth having. I did have Chilwell, but he was pretty disappointing with 1 point, 0 points, 1 point. So unless Chelsea things really change, then if not, it's hard to justify bringing in the Chelsea players just because they have a double game week on game week 37. And mind you, it's not an easy double game week for them as well. So not too keen on the Chelsea players, especially with I think Newcastle having a good fixture on game week 27 at home as well. So other than that, yeah, not too keen on Chelsea players. So this is the thought behind, and you can see I have some fodders, Totti and Greenwood, because I really use my bench boost. So one of the reasons why I use Wildcard is so that I can get bench fodders to fund for
the main team. Yep. You almost have, like, with Fernandes, at least, I guess, 2.5 premiums in there, you could say.
Yeah. And I have Trent as well.
Yes, that's right. So a majority of the budget actually goes to, and Jota as well, who is very expensive compared to some other forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this kind of, I guess, because of how you explained it, it kind of answers why you're going for a game week 33 wildcard compared to maybe a game week 34 wildcard. Because there could be questions saying that, oh, there might be quick rotation in some teams between 33 and 34 as well. Have you thought about a 34 wildcard or?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I sort of low key regretted activating the wildcard early on game week 33 because because I had some FOMO and things like that, which and I wanted to tinker as soon as possible. But looking in hindsight, maybe 34 would be a better move to make wildcard, since I don't have bench boost.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I can move any players I want right up to the deadline, especially the double game week deadline. So yeah, I mean it has its advantages, and if I'm not mistaken, I had enough in the bank to actually do Darwin to Haaland, because I think he's the player that I wanted to bring back the most.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking in hindsight, probably a better move would be to play the wildcard and then game week 34 instead. But I've clicked the button, so
yeah,
no turning back.
Yeah, but like it's still, I guess because of the players you have in, a majority of them are like secured minutes. Maybe Jota is the one slightly outlier out of all of that, but everyone else are most likely, regardless of even the fixtures being closed, they all need to kind of play for their teams because they're very important players for their teams.
But it's just my concern is Brighton. I think probably, and maybe United, they played so long yesterday. I think more than 120 minutes. So not too confident, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for me as well, just being like a United fan, I sold Rashford for Gakpo this week. Now, for me, over the last few weeks, United have looked leggy. Like it's not clicking. Team isn't firing as in all fronts.
As fluently.
Yeah. So that is, you have triple United here. Now I think Shaw is fine because when he plays a centre back, he does rack up baseline bonus. It's just the attack that I'm still unsure. I guess Rashford, because of EO and him being the talisman, should probably be there. Fernandes, I'm not really sure at the moment.
But to be honest, I can't see Fernandes being benched. I think the last game he I think against Sevilla.
Yes, he was suspended.
Yeah.
And looked poor. Yeah,
they looked poor. He was really needed in that game.
Yeah.
So I assume with that Sevilla game, he sort of got his rest. And we know that he can play week in, week out, 90 minutes, no problem.
Yeah.
So Fernandes, probably I'm not too concerned. It's probably Rashford.
Still kind of injury.
He just got back from injury and things like that. Hopefully he starts and just minutes managed.
Yeah.
Because I think United also need him, especially in the attacking front.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so this is your first draft that you've got. We'll move it to the next one, which is, instead of Fernandes, you got Grealish. You got Botman. So you set up for 37 and I guess 36 as well.
36. Yeah. I mean, this, like I said, in terms of expected minutes, definitely Fernandes is higher than Grealish. But City is on form. City is trying to score as many goals as possible. And Grealish and Haaland, they are playing. They're forming this really good partnership on the left. And even in off the pitch, they are really good friends. So can I can see that chemistry clicking, and Grealish, finally doing well for City. But it's just like I said, the midfield is a minefield, and they're hectic, giving hectic fixtures. But just jogging through my mind, I think Grealish is also like another player similar to Fernandes. He can play week in, week out. He has that stamina. He's I think, I don't know. It's just a gut feel. Maybe I think Grealish should continue to start for City.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really hard to predict. But yeah, this draft enables me to get Botman rather than Totti, so that I only need one free transfer to bring in a striker, maybe bring back Alexander Isak, maybe. But yeah, so and I have 1.7 million in the bank.
Fair enough.
So
yeah. I agree with you. I think Grealish, he's got back. He's looking in form. I think it took him time to kind of adapt to Pep's system and what Pep was asking of him, and seems to have now finally clicked into what people thought he was being bought for when he was bought for 100 million. So I think he still probably nails that spot, that left wing spot. It's the right wing spot, which is with Foden back, with Mahrez back. Like that is where I think there is going to be a bit of rotation. So I think he's a pretty good locked spot for now. But then again, Pep can do Pep stuff, and he has the luxury to rotate. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, this is sort of like a spin-off of the first draft. So yeah, so I'm still thinking I have 2 more days. I might go to this, or I might stick to the first. But yeah, let's just see how it goes.
Okay, cool. The next one is, instead of Botman and Grealish, you've got Solanke and Robertson. The double Liverpool defense.
Yeah, so this is I would say is a 4-5-1 formation. So I still have 11 double game week players here. But yeah, instead of Jota, I have Robertson as my third Liverpool option, and Solanke. I think Solanke is doing. I mean, yes, he did blank yesterday, but he did have several good chances. Which looks good for the owners. So yeah, I think he is still the budget striker to get. And Bournemouth, I think their fixtures are pretty decent. And I can see Solanke continue to return until at least the end of the season. But one thing I've really not too comfortable is double Liverpool defense. Yeah. So yeah, just yes. Although Trent and Robertson did return against Forest, but we can't bank on them getting an attacking return every week. Maybe Trent, but Robertson probably not. Which is why I'm not too keen on this draft. Yeah, I mean I probably prefer the Liverpool attack at the moment. It's just Jota. I mean, Robertson is more nailed or more get better expected minutes than Jota at the moment. But Jota, we know that he is a streaky player. His goals, comes in streaks, in waves. So I think it's his spot to lose at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. I think Jota, the ceiling is also much higher with Jota. And we expected Liverpool, like even in the Forest game, we kind of expected maybe that was one of the clean sheet bankers. And a lot of free hit managers actually went with like double Liverpool defense as well, because they thought that would be. But then what we've seen the whole season is Liverpool have been very inconsistent in their defense. The other thing I should probably add is we've seen in the past when Liverpool get to this point of like quick fixture turnaround, we've seen Simicast as well come in at a few times for Robertson.
Good point.
So I won't be surprised if that happens in 33 or somewhere in 31 of the games in 34 as well, to be honest.
Yep. Good point. That's a good point. Yeah, because I think Robertson tends to rotate more with Simicast rather than Trent on with Gomez, I think.
Yeah, or Milner, whichever appears.
Yeah. But I think we in the past we do see Robertson gets rotated more on the left side. Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's this draft, and then the final draft you got Stones and Botman and also Steele. So instead of Ederson, you've gone for Steele. We saw him on the bench against Brighton, and that's mostly because Sanchez is the cup keeper when they switched. So I would expect Steele to come back, but we don't know.
That's the thing. The thing. There are mixed reports. I think initially in April we read De Zerbi's praising Steele, say that he's playing like the style that he wants. Then he got injured, and Sanchez was waiting at the foul, came in, sort of changes his style compared to previously to suit more of De Zerbi's style. Passing in the back and pressing and things like that. So, and De Zerbi actually praises Sanchez, I think, yesterday before the game or at least a few days before, saying that he improved, he did well and things like that. So it's really up in the air. Yes, he did say some time ago that Sanchez is the cup keeper. But who knows? Who knows? So not too confident on Jason Steele as my third Brighton option, because I'm on the wildcard and Brighton has the most double game weeks until the end of the season. So it's only proper that I should choose the wildcard to pick the most
nailed Brighton.
Yeah, nailed options on the Brighton lineup. So after yesterday's game, not too keen on Jason Steele, but Steele, Ederson to Steele and Estupiñán to Stones, gives me more budget to bring in Botman early.
Yeah.
So I can use my free transfers for other options. I can't rule this out. I can't rule this draft out as well. But Stones, I think Stones is another player that Pep wants to protect. I think he's playing a different style this season, going forward more, doing those passes and attacking more. But I can see Pep probably going to protect him more and manage his minutes more this season, because we know when Stones is fit, he's brilliant, but he tends to be more injury prone, and especially now with Aki out as well. So probably Pep will probably want to protect Stones more, especially with the Champions League game coming out against Real Madrid as well. So Stones, but when he plays, he's brilliant. So it's sort of a punt as well.
Yep.
But not too sure or not too keen whether I want Steele and Stones, which are both doubt in terms of minutes, rather than Ederson and Estupiñán, which is we have to agree they are more nailed than these two players. So those are my thoughts, which is why I'm still leaning towards the first one.
Yep.
Right up to this point right up to this moment.
Yep, fair enough. So let's go back to that first one. Now, we've kind of gone all over it. Like, from all the players we've discussed, were there anyone else that it's obviously not in here, but you've kind of thought about or still uncertain about?
Um, I mean, yeah, I think it around and still comes back to this draft.
Mm,
Um, uh, I've tried to fit in Gakpo, but I don't want to lose Fernandez.
mm,
I think Fernandez, I mean, we all read, that owner's unlucky, he's due a haul and things like that.
mm,
So I personally wouldn't want to miss that
mm.
if he did, return. I'm not sure. Did you watch the game? Yes, again, Brighton.
Yes, I watched the full
He
120.
Wow. So yeah. I mean, like I heard he did had a few chances as
He did,
well.
yes. Yeah, he did. It'll be interesting going forward to see what happens because with Ericsson back,
Mm-hmm.
he does have the license now to go a bit more forward
Yep.
compared to when owners actually got him in during that double for United before. Ericsson wasn't
Yep.
still back, so he was playing a way more deeper role.
Yep.
And the owners who had him were probably maybe a bit unlucky. But then you saw
Mm-hmm.
the Forest game,
Yep.
and he should have hauled huge in that one. And then he had a few
Yeah.
chances this week as well against Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting him to continue to play a bit more forward.
Yep.
I won't be surprised in some games if even he plays one of the wing spots just in case, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know how Martial's fitness, how long
Oh
it'll
yeah.
last. And then there is the option to play Sabitzer as well in
Yeah.
that midfield. So he could play a bit more further forward as well in attacking spots. And even if he plays, let's say, right wing spot, even we've seen him be quite useful there as well from an
Mm-hmm.
FPL point of view. So I
Mm-hmm.
still think he's a good option.
Yep.
My only worry is not with the individual players, but with like United as a whole, still not clicking. But then again, we've seen Spurs just concede
Yeah.
6 to Newcastle, and
I
United
mean,
play them next.
they're really falling apart, aren't they?
Yeah, so
Doesn't look
maybe
good.
maybe the hall is there. I don't know. That's a possibility.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So yeah, so I wouldn't want to miss that.
Mm.
Yeah. So which is why I'm still coming back to this, because I think part of this draft is because I'm looking, I want uh the most nailed players
Mm.
that I can get on these spots, which is why I'm still leaning back to this, because I don't have enough free transfers to do if things go wrong, like
Yeah.
suddenly a players get dropped, for another player,
Yeah.
or this player gets subbed again. So which is why I'm still leaning back on this
Yeah.
particular draft.
Because this one seems the most in terms of minutes, apart from maybe Jota, who's the only one.
Yep.
Everyone else, I think, is like very close to 90. Maybe Haaland not close to 90, but Haaland will just score regardless of how many minutes he gets.
Yeah, and everyone has Haaland, so
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
that kind of is out of the question. So that's, I guess, this one looks probably the most solid one. One thing I probably maybe wanted to bring up is, so I've owned Botman and Trippier, and I've seen him appear in some of these drafts here.
Yep.
Have you thought of maybe double Newcastle attack?
I have thought of that. It's just that I don't know which is the second
Yeah, fair enough.
attacker to get. Like I can't replace Salah.
Yeah.
I can't replace Fernandez. Or the double Brighton midfield. I can't replace Rashford as well. I always liked Joe Willock.
Mm.
I rate him as a player. I rate him as an SPL asset as well. I think 2 seasons ago, I brought him in for the final few game weeks where he got me a double digit haul. So it's always in my memory. I always liked him as a player, as an FPL asset, but I just can't fit him in.
Fair
So
enough.
that's my problem. Unless I drop, I don't know.
I think
I
Salah will
can't.
be the most likely one to. But yeah.
Yeah, but one of my plans was Salah to KDB for Game Week 37.
Okay.
But I don't know. On Game Week 27, he plays at home against Villa.
Mm.
So I probably it's a tough decision, yeah, to be honest.
Yep.
So actually, I'm not too keen on Botman as my third asset as well, but it's purely mainly for the double game week.
Yeah.
Because Newcastle United are playing against Brighton as one of the double game week fixtures, so it's a bit oxymoron.
Yeah.
To have double defense. against attackers that you want to score.
Yeah.
So who knows? I might only end up with just 5.
Yeah, fair enough.
5. Because one of my plans was Jota to Isak on game week 36. But yeah, so you just have to see how it goes from there.
Fair enough. I think that's fine, because one thing that I guess there's another probably something to mention is, even though Brighton and Newcastle double in 36, if you look at the single game week fixtures of some of those teams, they're pretty tasty fixtures as well. I think a lot of managers are going to have bench in headaches that week.
Yeah, and we're going to see monster bench scores.
Yeah, exactly. So 5 doublers also, I don't think is because if you compare Botman to maybe a single game week, the difference might not be too much as well.
Yeah. I mean, Botman maybe at most, I can't see him getting an attacking return, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And if he plays against Brighton, who loves to score, I don't know. It's probably as good as just a single game week player.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So maybe, I don't know. It's up to you though, but I guess when you get to that time, maybe Newcastle have improved in defense. I don't know, because last few weeks they haven't really been keeping clean sheets as well. So something to probably consider, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That is basically all that I have for you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Looking forward to seeing what happens with this draft, whether anything changes over. Obviously, people follow him on Twitter. I think you'll finally post your team over there. So thank you for joining me today. Good luck with the rest of the season. What is your current target?
Okay, I just like we talked about, I just got into top 100k. I'm at 90k at the moment. Not sure. I can't. It's a bit hard. I would say it's probably a dream to go back to top 10k, but I don't think so. So probably if I can end up top 50k, I will be contented.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's still a pretty good achievement given the season, how everything has gone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe while you're new, and also make sure to follow FPL Joe on Twitter. Links will be in the description. Do you have anything to plug?
Sorry?
Do you have anything to plug? No.
Yeah, no. Just follow me on Twitter. That's all. Yeah,
awesome.
I do all my stuff there. And just you can just comment on any of my tweets and I'll get to you.
All right, cool. Thank you. And yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.
Thanks.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love